Peace and love. Sending you all positive energy, high vibrations, success on your entrepreneurship, all love, all positivity. Today, I'm going to be speaking about the Holy Trinity, okay? Where it derived from, okay? Ancient Kemet is the original place where the Holy Trinity derived from. Ancient Kemet was one of the first mother civilizations that practiced African spirituality. Okay, so December the 25th marks a new beginning in Kemet. Okay, a new birth. So I'm going to tell you the story of Aset, Asar, Huru, the original Holy Trinity, where actually Greek mythology, 111 on the clock, the story of Jesus Christ derived from Kemet. Okay, so Aset and Asar is the mother and father of Kemet. They held Kemet up, upper and lower Kemet, with their divine principles. They practiced, okay? They practiced agriculture, herbs and spices, divine knowledge, teaching the netters how to live righteous, okay? So they were worshipped throughout Kemet, okay? All over for their devotion, okay? So they had Set. He was known as chaos, destruction, low vibrating energy. He was jealous of Asar, his brother. So he killed Asar, okay? Cut him up into like 13 or 14 pieces. Spread them throughout Kemet. Okay? So Aset, she took her divine counterpart body pieces. She put them all back together besides one piece she couldn't find. Okay? And that was known to be a jade, actually, metal piece that she put back together. And it was symbolic to Asar's backbone, okay? Called the backbone of Asar, okay? And also it was symbolic to the underground water system, okay, of Giza Plateau. So after she put all the remains back together, she then created the first mummy in human history, was Asar, okay? She then turned into a Ba, okay? A Ba is known to be the God that dwells within us, that has to connect with our higher Ka, okay? And it goes out and it flies. It's a falcon bird. It flies into the afterlife, okay? After we ascend and connect the lower Ka with the Ba to the divine Ka, the higher Ka, okay? They connect as one. And it just shows us that after death, there's always life. And we have a God that dwells within us, okay? So she turned into the Ba. She hovered over her divine counterpart, Asar, okay? He erected, and then December 25th, she gave birth to the son Huru, okay? Always be familiar with that. So we have a lot of great energy when we're dealing with the birth of Huru, okay? So we had the death of Asar, okay? He went to the afterlife, but his spirit rose And Set gave birth to his son. So his son was an inspiration to the world, okay? Because Heru then took the place of Asar, okay? So also, when we think of death and rebirth, it just shows us the allegories that they have throughout the universe. How we are going to have to experience the dark in order to access the light. So even in a time of sad energy, her losing her divine counterpart, another life form was brought to life to be an inspiration to her and to uplift her. Okay, the spirit of her deceased husband lived and impregnated her, and she had a son. Okay, also when we think of Heru, okay, he's a personification of Amun-Ra. So he's seen with a sun disk over his head, okay, and also seen as a falcon bird, okay. So they had stories saying that Heru turned into Amun-Ra, and he went through the night skies flying as a falcon, okay. So it just shows us that when we think of December the 25th, we think of death and rebirth, okay? New beginnings. After the transformational times, we can persevere through them all. 707. And look at the story of the Holy Trinity to know that we can make it through. And we do have another chance to be reborn again. The spirit don't dies. It continuously lives. And the sun always shines. Okay? It returns back to us every day. After it rises and then it sets at night. So it sets and it goes in the darkness. And then the next day it rises and is reborn again. Okay, so the story shows us that we can be reborn again. Okay, if we are not happy with the choices that we made the day before, we can change them and find out things that can help us grow positively on our journey. Okay, 8:18 on the clock. So I just wanted to come on and shed some light and let you all know about December the 25th, new beginnings. Okay, and it's also symbolic to in Kemet. When December 25th came, it was symbolic to the flooding of the Nile. Okay, the flooding of the Nile brought harmony into humanity. Okay, so it shows a new beginning of life. Okay, a new growth of crops, seeds. Okay, because when it flooded, it helped to bring fertility to the land. Okay, always be familiar with that. So when we think of Heru, it is a story to give us inspiration, so we can see all the good things that comes out of the experience in our life day to day. Okay, and I'm actually going to do a separate video on Heru and some of the allegories that I came across of that I just going to do them, because the more we connect with our ancient history, the more it helps us to have soul evolution and have the understanding of how can we navigate and vibrate on a high frequency of love. We're all going to experience that experience of death and rebirth. Okay, we're going to have to shed layers in order to bring new things in our lives, and that's what it shows us as well. So Set energy that killed his brother Asar, we all can have that energy. Okay, that is dealing with our root chakra, okay, our lower self, our lower ka. And what we do is we learn from the transformational times. Okay, it's also connected with Saturn. Okay, so when we think of Saturn, we think of hard work, dedication, discipline, structure, and that's also known as the fire planet. So it just shows us how polarity is manifested. Okay, good and bad, negative and positive. So the positive is we have that fire to access within us, that kundalini energy, that light at the bottom, down at our root chakra. Okay, and the good side is that we can elevate. Okay, we have to go through that tough love, authority figure, discipline, which deals with Saturn energy, in order to vibrate on a high frequency of love. Okay, so we're going to have those transformational times, traumatic experiences, and they're all for growth and elevation. They build our character. Okay, they give us inspiration and power to strengthen our character. Okay, so it's like we're not going to be able to get into the light until we assess the darkness and the things that we are uncomfortable with, the things that don't make us feel so good, but we have to deal with them in order to ascend to a higher level of consciousness, in order to heal, in order to learn, in order to experience the things that we experience. 2222 on the clock. We're going to have to get in that darkness. And when I'm teaching, I find myself saying this over and over again. And that's what it is. In order to have soul evolution, in order to shed layers, we're going to have those no good experiences. We're going to have to experience death and rebirth. And it shows us, just like it showed us in the original Holy Trinity. After death, there's always life. Okay? So we see the goodness of actually Asar having his son Haru live and take over the throne and use the principles that his dad used to hold Kemet up. Okay? It also shows us a set, the powers of the universal mother. Okay? How she had the power to put her husband, her divine counterpart, back together. Okay? Using herbs and spices. The first mummy in human history. Okay, that's powerful. Okay, so she's known to be a powerful deity to call on in the time of healing any illness, and she can help for that. Okay, she's also the universal mother that brings life forth into the universe. 1414, everything enters from a portal, from a woman. So she's symbolic of entering the portal. Okay, creation of all, a set, the knot of a set. Okay, so after the traumatic experience, it's always duality that is manifested into the universe. 444 on the clock, and it shows us we can persevere through the traumatic times, the times that we are uncomfortable with, and experiences that is not so good, to help us to ascend to a high vibration of love. Okay, we can access the power of Aset, Asar, and also Haru, and live righteously. Okay, I love you all. I'm sending you all positive energy, high vibration, success on your entrepreneurship, all love, all positivity. I'll be back with more. Peace and love.